We got ourselves Dirk on Team Red. Looks like he's going up first as a Fury Warrior. We got Freak Nasty and Kazoo as a Demon Hunter. We got ourselves Marka coming back as a Fury Warrior, and then Slaughterhouse. Woo, look at you, man. I don't even know what kind of mock he's got going on, but look at good. Demoniac is actually going up with a different mock. I thought this was a whole new man right here, but it is not. It's going to be Demoniac on Team Blue, trying to see if he can slaughter Dirk down. It's going to be a Enrage Regeneration for Dirk already. That's quite a big defensive. And he's got himself offensive, but he cannot catch up to the Rogue. Trying to do a leap, does not get the charge. Demoniac looks like he's going to be able to get away scot-free there. With Lucron on Team Blue, we also got us as Pager. We got us a Soul. Looks like there's got some Soul in Death Knight, yeah? Death Knight Souls, you know, weapon and all that. Nah, not a good joke. Anyway, there's also got a big Doinks in here. Big Doinks. Holy shit, your mog and your haircut looks so good. Holy crap. Dirk drinking it out of the cheap shot. Second cheap shot to follow by Demoniac, though. Interesting choice. Safety trick coming out for Dirk. He does get himself a bit of a heal. Stormbolt onto Demoniac. Might be able to get quite a bit of damage out of stuff for Demoniac right now. Does not get to get away easily. That's going to be Warlock Housing coming out for Demoniac, though. Trying to maintain his health as best as possible. And Dirk trying to see if he can whirlwind him out. Dirk looks like someone who's pretty new at these, man. Made a couple weird mistakes here and there. Wait, are you Shadow Dance? You're actually dancing. Wait, you're actually Sub-Rogue. I thought you were a Sass. It's going to be double Eviscerate for Demoniac after double cheap shot. I was thinking for a second, how is he cheap shotting so often? Wow. No wonder Demoniac doesn't have this warrior on the ropes yet. Sorry, boys, had a cough. Dirk versus Demoniac. Demoniac actually playing that sub. No wonder. I was thinking you're changing Mog, but you actually do the thing what I also do. Mog is different based on spec you play, yeah? Kidney shot onto Dirk. He doesn't have a trinket for it. Does Demoniac have enough damage? Does he even have gear to make sub work? Does get in a massive, well, decent, really. A decent. For sub rogues, it's not really huge, but at least it's guaranteed damage. Dirk does not have anything left with an evasion for Demoniac. And down he goes. Demoniac just doesn't look like he had that much damage. That or Dirk is super tanky. Next up is going to be Freak Nasty. Hopefully he'll have an easier time with Demoniac. Getting him with a blind for a second. Allowing Demoniac to catch a full reset. Was that a Crucible on himself? Might have been a self-Crucible there. Whole Blood is up and running as Demoniac once again an open Annihilate onto Freak Nasty with a cheap shot to follow. Shadow Strike, Eviscerate, Mark for Earth, Eviscerate. That's actually going to peel back before going for stuns. He actually does quite considerable damage. He actually got Freak Nasty to half health in a single opener, and he didn't have Shadow Blades or anything. So that's quite considerable. I think he needs to do for more cheap shots and sink more Eviscerates in there. Like cheap shots back to back to back. But otherwise he's doing not bad. And Freak Nasty getting quite a bit of health, though. Does have a Warlock of their own, so Warlock Healthstone is available for both of the teams. That's going to be Shadow Blades for Demoniac. Cheap shot onto Freak Nasty, trying to get some damage in. Freak Nasty trinketing out of it. No, Metamorphosis coming out right back right after. Demoniac still already committed a lot of offensive cooldowns here, but that's going to be just completely demolished in health all the way down to 25%-ish. It's going to be safe trinketing coming down as he gets desperately low. It's going to try to see if he can get away from Freak for just a second. Freak is on the prowl, on the chase. Demoniac trying to see if he can recover using Crucible's defensive. That's going to be a Warlock Hellstone maybe used, but I know it was a concoction of his own. Does not get a sap or reset onto Freak Nasty. Does get a Kidney shot. It's going to be a Nightblade. Mark for Earth Eviscerate. It's going to send a Crucible into a cheap shot after. Maybe a cheap shot after. No, it's going to be actually Demon Hunter flying up in the air, allowing Demoniac to catch himself a reset. Unless he's getting procced on hard. Cheap shot with a Nightblade to follow. Just gonna have to go for a bit of a reset. No Kidney shot. Actually went for a Eviscerate instead. Freak Nasty does use a Warlock Hellstone in between of the bursts. He doesn't quite get the full stun back-to-back wombo combo that sub usually does, but at least it does. It does a decent amount of damage, to be honest. That's okay. I know it feels like one of his traits might not be that great. That's gonna be quite a huge amount of damage from that Crucible. Freak Nasty not sending that stun long at all. Blind as Demoniac does catch himself a bit of a reset. Playing for the long game. I feel like Demoniac could have maybe ended this game a little bit earlier if he just was more experienced at sub. But he might have to play for the long reset game with Freak Nasty for quite a bit. If he is playing Shadowy Duel, he might be able to actually Shadow Step to one of the allies of Freak Nasty and use Shadowy Duel to set up away. But we'll just have to wait and see if he even is running it. Gonna get an I-Beam coming out for Freak Nasty. Demoniac is gonna go. You actually get to fly up. I think you actually bunked your head on the top of the tower. It looked like you bunked your head on that thing. Look, hold on, look. I think you actually bunked your head on top of that. I don't think you went up as high as you eventually actually could have. Evasion coming out for Demoniac does give himself a little bit of a heal with a Warlock Hellstone. Trying to funnel damage into Freak Nasty. No more trinket available for the Demon Hunter, however. Is actually going to vanish and try to shadow step away. He does use the eyes, it looked like by a second. It looked like he was running slow as if he had a Spectral Sight. But it's going to be Demoniac actually able to get himself a full reset there. Very interesting. The Demoniac can maybe change up his playstyle. I think you got to open up with maybe like a Shadow Strike, Nightblade, Cheap Shot. But like running to the side of an enemy. And hope that they go for a CC setup. And then that will give you the most amount of value during your stuns. Does get Freak Nasty to almost half health. But that's going to be Demon form coming out for Freak. Local shadows for Demoniac immediately. Freak having to burn Crucibles defensively. Not letting the Rogue reset, however. Shadow Wheel Blades are available for Demoniac. If you can get some combo points ahead of time with the Freak Nasty, get a Nightblade, go for a full all-in setup. He might stand a chance here. Ew, actually, no. Shadow Wheel Blades do dissipate at the last second. If you ask combo points saved from last setup, you can just go into Nightblade. Oh, there it goes. Nightblade, maybe into Cheap Shot. No, getting hit with a stun. Still holding on to the Nightblade charge, but that's going to be Crucible smacking him right now. Save Chicken coming in. Stun to follow by Freak Nasty, looking to close out the game. Demoniac does get himself a bit of a heal with Warlock Hellstones. Blind again onto Freak. If he has common points from earlier with a Nightblade, he might actually be able to go in for the big all-in. Because I think you have to have common points ahead of time to get a full Cheap Shot back-to-back. No, opens up with a Cheap Shot, Nightblade. Still might be able to stand a chance. Got himself a huge Crucible. Cheap Shot to follow. Shadow Strike. Darkness coming down for Freak, but he still took that Eviscerate either way. Super low in health. Literally one Crucible could end him. Using Crucible himself. But with dampening being only 11%, that might have been a one-stack Crucible just now. As long as he doesn't get the I-Beam set up, he might be good. Demoniac trying to see if he can maybe finish off Freak Nasty. Shadow Step and pass him. I-Beam is up and running. As long as Freak does not get any damage, Demoniac might be able to turn it around. Maybe a Cheap Shot to follow. He doesn't have a Trinket for a little bit. Does send him within prison. Might need to Cheap Shot him immediately. Metamorphosis is up and running. Does get a Cheap Shot. Freak is getting a Trinket back up. I-Beam to follow. Cheap Shot again. Does he get to finish him off? Does get that Eviscerate. Demoniac does come out on top with that duel going up against the Demon Hunter, and it looks like Slaughterhouse is up next. Believe he's playing Destruction Warlock here, getting already aggressive by picking up the eye. Has the pet back up and running. Shadow Fury around the corner, does not get to hit Demoniac. Could get the pet over there though. He could get the pet over there, and it looks like he actually did hit him with a conflag. I don't know how you hit him through a line of sight just now. I swear to God it was line of sight. I guess maybe one of them is lagging up, so it's gonna set up a Demoniac gateway back there, and the pet is gonna be keeping Demoniac out in combat. As long as he can get over there and do some damage to Demoniac, he might be fine, but he's not pushing in. He's just perfectly fine just sitting back here. Kidney Shot coming down onto Slaughterhouse. It's going to be a Pet Succubus CC onto Demoniac. Slaughterhouse could get himself huge damage here. Is going to go for Cataclysm after getting himself Dark Soul Stability. Vanish Cloak of Shadows coming out for Demoniac. Is he going to drop down Infernal? He does not. I was thinking, what if? That's going to be cooldown. It's kind of wasted for Slaughterhouse. Still does have the Infernal, if anything. Worst to worst. Does get a bit of a conflag on Demoniac, keeping him at bay as he open up with an Nightblade, breaking the sap, but that's going to be Smoke Bomb. Does get on top of Slaughterhouse right after, trying to go for a fear. Not going to happen. Maybe a Succubus CC right here is going to hold him in place. Does he Trinket out of it? Slaughterhouse could go for some huge damage finally. Cataclysm and Demoniac, blind to follow. Does drop an Infernal. Maybe a good opportunity to Trinket, but maybe he decides not to. Is he going to be able to catch up Demoniac at all? He does have the gateway set up. He could gateway over there. He does have a pre-gateway, but I think there's a debuff on the gateway for now, so you're not going to be able to get on top of Demoniac immediately. Trinket out Demoniac stun into a fear to follow, trying to get a Casbell down. One Casbell down right now. A second Casbell getting lined. He just needs a little bit extra damage. Does get a conflag on Demoniac. The pets are going to surround him. Drain Life is going to hit, and Demoniac is going to go down. He just needed a little bit of damage, but after that fear, Casbell just didn't quite work out. Big Doinks is going to be up next. 9 minutes. That's how long Demoniac was out there versus Freak and versus Derek and versus Slaughterhouse. 9 minutes. Big Doinks is going to get a touch of death rolling onto Slaughterhouse immediately. The stun does come out on the pet as well. He does get a wall rolling with a fear onto Slaughterhouse, onto Doinks. He does trick it out of it. Horror effect to follow. Slaughterhouse does eat a melee, but he does get a bit of a heal from Big Doinks through the horror effect. There's going to be Shadow Fury from a distance. Doinks looking like he's lagging a little bit, but he's still trying not to let it keep him down. Slaughterhouse taking a little bit of damage from the monk right now. It's going to port out of there. The roll is coming out for Doinks right here. Just trying to stay on top of the Warlock as best as possible. Does interrupt him on fear. Perfect opportunity for Slaughterhouse to go for some Chaos Bolts. Unless there's going to be more CC coming out for Doinks. It looks like with that Fist of Fury, a couple blackout kicks, Doinks does take him down. Marco is up next on Team Red. Trying to see if he can make a play versus Doinks. I like that name, dude. Big Doinks. Makes me imagine like every time he does blackout kick, he just hits somebody on the head. It's like doink, makes that sound. There's gonna be Fist of Fury locking out the warrior for a little bit with a wall up and running. Doinks does still hold on to a karma, so he's still in a good position. Gonna be Whirling Dragon Punch out of the monk. Marco is gonna try to intercept Doinks as he's trying to relocate to another side of the pillar. Marco only running Stormbolt, so he doesn't really have any way to recover and catch up to Doinks. Might have a leap unless he already used it. Marco is going to tank himself up with that Underrot Trinket. Tried to stay as tanky as possible for these duels. Stormbolt onto Doinks. Tried to see if he can set up some damage. Did not have himself big Rampage. Now it's there. Bladestorm to follow. He can't send Bladestorm as soon as he sees that Karma. And is just trying to see if he can walk away from Doinks. Try to use slows as best as possible. Should be using Bloodthirst off of the pets in order to maintain his health, but Marco is doing just fine healing-wise. Intercepting, Doinks is trying to get out of there. Does he have the leap? He does. Reconnected with the monk. Needs to get a slow on the guy. Root is going to dispatch him away from one another. Marco is not going to be able to catch up to Doinks as he's going to go for that big port. Should be able to get himself a couple of verifies back to back to back. Marco getting interrupted and... actually not interrupted, disarmed in the opener, interrupted from being able to do damage. Doinks also running the Underworld Trigger. Touch of Death rolling into Marco. That's going to be quite a bit of damage. Fist of Fury is actually going to get stunned up by Doinks. Mally rolling into Marco. Not going to be able to heal for quite a bit. Having to go for Rage Regeneration for defensive purposes. Charge almost gets the heal, still slaps out the heal from Doinks, but I think it was all absorbed into the Mally. And that's going to be Doinks trying to reposition away from Marco as best as he can, catching a couple of Vivifies here and there. Marco needs to get a Stormbolt with a Rampage, dude. He needs to get a Stormbolt, Rampage, get some damage in or something. Or get maybe a Siege Breaker onto Doinks, Stormbolt, Rampage, get as many procs and damage as possible. He needs to make some play here. Doinks going to get himself a wall up and running. Trinkets out of the Stormbolt, disarm onto Marco. And the Whirling Dragon Punches close out, but it doesn't do as much damage as he thought it would. Mark is still on the ropes, man. Does not really have a lot left. Fear to stop the Fist of Fury. Does have himself safety Trinket rolling with that Underrun. Intercepting big Doinks. He's trying to get away. Does go for a bit of a diffuse magic, but still super low in health. Execut's available, but that Karma is going to deny the exit. Marco trying to go for Reflect. Trying to reflect as much of the Karma damage if he can. Commanding Shot coming out. Marco has himself set amount of health available. Stormbolt onto Doinks. Trying to see if he can land that Execute. Lexer to follow. Marco is actually Doinks is going to go for a Vim fight to follow. And he does end up killing Marco with a whirl. With a Rising Sun Kick in cap onto Kazoo. Is he actually going to be able to get away from the Demon Hunter here as Kazoo is the last man standing on Team Red? No, Kazoo does get to slap him out. Lucron, oh my goodness, Lucron, my man, it's just the worst setup for you. You having to go big as a Demon Hunter every single time it looks like with these duels for the last 2 weeks it feels like. So Kazoo's the last man standing on Team Red. We have Pedro, Soul, and Lucron on Team Blue. Demoniac and Big Doinks really gave Team Red a run for the money. So Kazoo now has to see if he can fight through this. He's going to get an immediate imprisonment to Lucron with a stun to follow. Lucron is going to get a Succubus CC onto Kazoo actually. He is playing Demonology. He's not a Destruction Warlock, boys. He is playing Demonology, and he's going to get a Demon Bolt for freebie Soul Shards onto Kazoo with a Horror Effect to follow, trying to get some of those Hand of Gul'dan's pets up and running. He's going to go for a wall, stunned by coming out by Kazoo. Lucron does Trinket out of it. He's going to get a bit of that Bile Scourge Bombers running in onto Kazoo, trying to get another Hand of Gul'dan. Might have to go for a bit of a Reflect here in order to make sure those Hand of Gul'dan's coming out. He's going to be tired up and running. Should be able to slap him out for quite a bit of damage. Those Imps are up and running too. Everything is doing damage to Kazoo. He's going to get a Fear on him for a second. Kazoo Trinkets out of the Fear. Darkness coming down, trying to Fear him out of Darkness if possible. Maybe another Fear. Does get interrupted on Shadow. That Tyrant did a little bit of damage, but now this army of Imps is the only thing that is allowing Lucron to do any DPS right now. And those Imps got only a limited amount of time on them. The Imp army is gone. Lucron is going to have to go for a little bit of CC Fest here. Kazoo actually taking quite a bit of Bile Scourge Bomber damage. Does Lucron have a Horror Effect? He does. Does he have enough damage to follow up? He actually does get the kill onto Kazoo. Oh my god. The Succubus playstyle actually paid off. Yes, I like seeing that, man. I like seeing that comeback. We gotta get looked around more of these games, boys. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Texan, well, welcome to get in, my man. You have me out on Real ID, get me up and running. What's up, Once? How you doing, my dude? Hope you're having a good one. Is that Once as in the Warlock?